Hello everybody and welcome to my latest video. This is Beetle Dave calling from Derbyshire in the UK. Now on Boxing Day I went out for a meal with my stepfather and my mother and my brother and my nephew and obviously my missus. We got talking, as you do when you're having a drink and having something to eat. And one of the questions that they asked me was, how do I know so much about records? And pricing records and what to buy and what to look out for and things like that. So it got me thinking. I thought, well, that'd actually make quite a good video. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about how do you get to know things about records and things like that. So if you're new to the channel, which you could be, welcome. Basically, I have been collecting records for over 40 years now. The majority of my records are Beatles records, but I've got other records as well: David Bowie, Kinks, punk, new wave, bit of rock and roll, bit of Motown. I've got a very, very wide range of musical tastes. The easiest way to get to know about records is buy one of these. I know this is quite an old one now, which is the Record Collector, their record price guide. This is from 2014. You can still get them. They are expensive, but these do actually give you I wouldn't say a definitive price for records, but it gives you a good idea. I mean, that's just some of the stuff there. That's just Beatles stuff on that one there, and there's pages and pages of Beatles. You used to be able to buy the Record Collector magazine, which I don't know if you still can, but it is always nice to get things like that. I mean, according to this, what we've got: Abbey Road export copy, reissue, parlophone, sticker on sleeve, £125. Now I know that goes for a hell of a lot more than that, so that is it is just a rough guide. A price for a record, as I've said before, if you're going to sell records, which some people do, and I do occasionally sell records, not very often, but I do occasionally sell some. A record is only going to be worth what somebody's prepared to pay. Now, to me, when I started to really get into record collecting, one of the first things I did was go into record shops. There are still some record shops around, and get talking to the people that own the record shops or run the record shops. You can learn a lot of things just by talking to people. Obviously, when I was growing up, as a kid or a teenager, records were the norm then. CDs hadn't been invented, and you didn't have the internet. So the only way that you would actually learn about a record was talking to somebody about it. Now, obviously, times have changed, haven't they? So now you can look on things like YouTube, go on Discogs, go on eBay. The only thing I will say about eBay and Discogs are sometimes the records they price them for a hell of a lot more than what they're actually worth, and then you've got to be careful of the descriptions, because some person's excellent might be another person's only very good, and vice versa. But that is one way to get a rough idea as well. Now, as a collector, not everything I buy is worth a lot of money. For instance, I've got, off the top of my head, I've got a Buddy Holly LP, and it's on, I think it's the Ace of Clubs label, and I think it's called the Buddy Holly Store off the top of my head. I think it is, and that was my mother's LP, and she got that just after Buddy Holly died. Now, it's not worth a hell of a lot of money. I mean, it's not worth nothing. It's probably worth around the £10 to £15 mark. But to me, that is like one of my treasured possessions, because it was my mum's, and that sort of lot got me into listening to people like Buddy Holly and the Everly Brothers, and then obviously into the Beatles. So that to me is like one of my top 10 albums, although it's not probably worth anywhere near some of my other records, if you follow me. The other thing you can do is see, I'm quite lucky, because where I live, I've got a second-hand record shop in Derby called BPM, and the chap there, he's very knowledgeable, and he don't mind talking to you about that. I mean, I've taught him a few things, and he's taught me a few things, if that makes sense. I don't mean that big-headed, he's had records, and I've said to him, well, this is a first press, and you could probably get a little bit more. And then sometimes, you know, if he's got some Beatles stuff, he will like let me have first, like looks at them and things like that. And then obviously there's my mate Rob's Records in Perchard in Nottingham. He's got, his brain is full of fascinating facts about records. Honestly, it is. And then there's Big Apple Records, and then there's Records 33, and then there's a Music Inn in Nottingham. So if you're close to Nottingham, just you know, and then, you know, when you browse and just start talking to the people that actually run the record shop or own the record shop, then you can learn a hell of a lot of things that way. The other thing is watching YouTube videos. You know, sometimes if I'm reviewing a record, I will tell you roughly what it's worth, but it is only, again, it is only a rough price, because a record is only ever going to be worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Now, if you've got, say, for instance, I don't know, what shall we say? Let's pick one out. Right, Abbey Road. Right, this is a Greek version of Abbey Road, right? So if you're a Beatles fanatic, right, and you haven't got this, but you've got all the other Greek ones, especially if you like living in the UK or in America, and this is the only one that you haven't got, you can actually, you know, what would you pay for it? Might only be worth a tenner, but if you can't find it anywhere, and then one you can find is for £50 or £60, you probably pay the £50 or £60. Personally, that's worth about 25 quid. It's not the rarest album in the world. It's just because it's based on a different label. Again, you know, not every record that you will get as a collector has to be worth lots and lots of money. This is the mistake some people make. They go into record collecting thinking it's an investment. Now, some of them can be. Some records, you know, you might strike lucky. I mean, I found that Please Me Golden Black LP, didn't I, at Matlock earlier in the year, and I think I paid something like £80 for it. Now I know I could get £250 for that if I wanted to sell it, which I don't, because I've been after it for years and years and years. Excuse me. It's funny, you know, like whenever you're doing a video, especially on like a laptop or a computer, you start getting adverts for things that you've never really been interested in. That was something for a security thing or something. I don't know. That's by the by. So yes, start off, if you are collecting, you will probably just really, you might just like one band. You know, in my case, you know, the real people that got me into record collecting was people like the Sex Pistols and the Beatles. Slightly different times. Sex Pistols actually got me into buying records, and then when I discovered the Beatles, that's when I started to become a proper collector. You know, and I would research things and look out for certain things, and which I still do now. But everybody does love a bargain. You know, there is still bargains to be had out there. The other thing that came up on Boxing Day was, well, what, you've got your own YouTube channel. What sort of channels do you, meaning me, you know, what channels do I like to watch? And to be honest, there's quite a few that I watch. Again, it's mainly for research purposes. There's a chap in Birmingham called Rum Reseller. He's actually just opened a record shop. Well, opened it early in the year, but it doesn't just do records. He's what the cut. Well, he's a reseller, so he'll buy things to, you know, make a profit. He's a very, very funny bloke, actually. If you get a chance to watch any of his videos, you know, please do. But you know, he has got a record shop, and he's got like a record stall in like an antique place as well now, and things like that. So that's one that I like watching. The other one that I like watching is, I think it's an American chap that's called Noble Records. He has got a really, really good knowledge of basically anything that's on, that you can get on record. He's got it. Then there's quite a few that I do like to watch. I've subscribed to some of them as well, you know. So, you know, I'm always learning. Yeah, I have been collecting for 40 odd years, but I'm learning by the day. I've got books on record collecting and things like that, on record prices and rare pressings. And it's like with the Beatles, isn't it? You think, well, yeah, the Beatles only did 13 studio albums. That's if you can't, please, Magical Mystery Tour, which they did. But each one of them albums has got about 10 or 20 different variations that you can buy. That's just the UK ones. Different pressings, different mixes and things like that, mono, stereo, flip back sleeves, and you know, yellow and black labels, silver and black labels, 2-box EMIs, 1-box EMIs. You know, it goes on forever and ever and ever. So really, best way to learn about records and to roughly know the prices is to go into second-hand record shops, especially if they are like proper record shops, not like some a bit like junk shops, as we used to call them, so they sell a bit of everything, and then they'll have like a few records and stuff like that. But once you get talking to the people that own them, the other thing that you can do is join forums on YouTube and other sites. You know, but the only thing is, it's like I've said before, you know, in some of my videos, what's rare to us in the UK is not necessarily rare to somebody in America, and vice versa. You know, American pressings of Beatles albums are quite rare in England. I mean, they're not impossible to get, but anything in decent condition is actually, you know, pretty hard to come by. But in America, they're as common as anything, can't they? And it's the British ones that are worth a lot of money in America. So you've got to work out your market of where you are as well. But like I say, don't just go into record collecting thinking that you're going to make loads and loads of money. It's not. It can become a business. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's people that do make a living out of selling records and things like that. Like I say, you know, sometimes I do sell things on eBay or, you know, Facebook Marketplace and things like that. You know, I used to have a little stall in antiques place in Hina, which we might do again in the new year, all being well, but it depends what's going to happen with this virus thing. But that wasn't just records. We sold a little bit of everything there, with jewelry and things like that. So, you know, it is nice. This is just my hobby. It's a nice hobby to have, but sometimes it can get out of hand. I mean, this year I've spent I think I've spent more on records this year than I ever have. But then again, I've bought a few box sets and things like that, and, you know, a few job lots. And, you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know. But yeah, so the best way to learn about records is to get one of these, but more up to date one. But you can actually see, I didn't bother getting a new one after this because I subscribed to the website. You know, so, but like I say, some of the price and needs seem very, very low. But the good thing is, you do get a record collector's grading. So that tells you how to grade a record. So for instance, if you've got a record that you think's mint, and mint means basically it's never been played. If it's, you know, so it could be mint and it could be worth £1,000, right? But if it's only excellent condition, it's £800. Right? So if it's very good condition for the same record, it's £500. So that you've lost half the value there straight away, haven't you? If it's good, £300. If it's fair, £150. If it's poor, it's £80. And then if it's bad, which means basically you can't play it, it's £25. So you can see the range goes like that, doesn't it? So, but I think a lot of people do the gold mine one as well, which is like an American version of it. But yeah, you know, something like that is always handy to have. So if you're on eBay and you see a record that you think you've got and it's up for like £30 for a mint copy, right? So if you've played that record, technically it can't be mint, can it? The most it can be is excellent or excellent plus. So if it's £30 mint, it'll be £25 excellent, £15 for very good, £9 for good, £4.50 for fair, £2.50 for poor, and if it's bad, it's worth nothing. And I think this is what a lot of people sort of like don't understand when they're on eBay. They'll just look and think, oh yeah, well that Beatles record there is worth £500, and I've got a copy of that, but it might not be the same copy. So if you actually wanted to freeze that, you could actually see what I mean. Can't get my fingers out of the way. So that's another thing. But like I say, this is an old one now. I mean, it's nearly 8 years old, isn't it? But like I said, last year I did subscribe to the record collector website. But I think that was something like £600, and I know I've got the 2020 version of that. So yeah, so that's going to be it for today. But just remember, at the end of the day, knowledge, you've got to learn about. Basically, the best way to learn about records is to talk to people and watch videos like this and other videos like I've mentioned, you know, just put in your YouTube thing, just put in, excuse me 1 second. Just put in record collecting or record values and see how many videos that you get up. Or in my case, just put in, you know, Beatles or whatever and see what comes up. Some people will tell you prices, other people won't. But then, you know, if the more you get into it, if you can learn, you'll learn about what's in the dead wax. Now, the dead wax in the record, we did actually go through this yesterday. It's the run out groove, which is this bit here. So that's where the record finishes there. And then that's where the label finishes. So that bit there, that thick black bit there, is the dead wax. So you can find out like the matrix numbers and pressings and all sorts from the little like writings and things that are out in there. Not on every record, but on a lot of them you can. I mean, I've got 2 copies of that, which I didn't realise till the other day. Again, that is one of the highlights of the year for me. Was buying this Beatles singles job lot from Pop Culture for You. And like I said yesterday, if you watch my videos, you know, these did actually belong to Brian Epstein's cousin. So I hope that's been informative for you. If you're liking the videos, thank you very much. Like I say, if this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, welcome. And if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you a penny. I keep saying this to people. It doesn't cost a penny to watch videos on or subscribe to videos on YouTube. For everybody that is subscribing, thank you very much. Everybody that's liking my videos, thank you very much. You know, everybody that's putting a thumbs up, again, brilliant, thank you. Anybody that is putting comments up, again, thank you very much. But I've just noticed now there's like a comment come up on here, and it's nothing to do with record collecting or the Beatles. That's come from like a sort of like a naughty site thing. Now then, I just completely ignore. And then when I finish this video, I'll just delete that straight away. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to show you, you know, to show you records and to spread my knowledge. You know, my knowledge of record collecting and the Beatles and things like that with you lot, and to entertain you. I don't take myself too seriously. So that's going to be it for today. So as always, love your records, cherish your records, clean your records, because then they'll last you even longer. But above all, play your records. So I'm probably going to do another video later on today. So stay tuned. You know, stay tuned to this YouTube channel. And like I say, if I don't do another one today, Happy New Year to everybody, and please stay safe. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope it's been informative, and I will see you again soon. So until the next time, it's Beatle Dave from Derbyshire saying bye-bye, everybody.